I have here a bit of a different item from what I usually have on the channel. This is a executive gift set from Decipher. Only about 250 of these were ever made from what I've read. And there's quite a bit of a debate currently and some rumors regarding that about what exactly constitutes a sealed one of these, and even how you would tell if yours is sealed. One story that I've heard that was kind of making the rounds is that Decipher had a bunch of these. They gave some as gifts, and when they were produced in the factory, they were unsealed, and then Decipher gave them away or sold them to a wholesale gaming card store, who then they shrink wrapped them themselves. The other story is that about 100 were given away. The remaining 150 were shrink wrapped by Decipher, so they were never originally sealed out of the factory, but they may be Decipher sealed, or possibly they were sealed by a store later. So it's kind of a mystery what exactly the story is, and I always keep my eyes peeled for more information from somebody either from Decipher who was involved in the production and distribution of these, or maybe the store itself that was rumored to have sealed them after they got a bunch of them in stock. But this particular one I got from a collection where the guy I bought it from, he had purchased a case of Reflections 1 boosters, booster boxes I should say, and he got this at the same time. So he opened through 4 of those Reflections boxes, and story seemed to check out because all of the boxes that he did have were serial numbers in sequential order. So I think he had 2 boxes just full of loose cards and then 2 sealed boxes. So he said he got this from that supplier as well. So hopefully it's about as unmodified as these can get. But I'm not actually going to open this one, just because if there's only 250 and if only 150 of them or so were ever sealed, it seems kind of wasteful. But I do have one that I think is fairly intact. It looks full at least. I don't even remember where I got this from. It was long ago, and I stuck it in a nice little bin in my closet to keep it out of the dust. But as I understand it, this is going to be a couple of cut sets of Premiere. I forget if it's 1 or 2, but essentially when they made the sets, they printed cards on these big sheets of paper, and on each sheet there was different rarities on each sheet. So an uncommon 1 appeared once on each sheet, an uncommon 2 appeared twice on each sheet. So we'll see if we have proportional numbers, whether they did 1 or 2 sets of the rares, because that's kind of the more interesting part of this. But we got the cards here. It's quite an extensive collection here, I guess you could say. And in the middle there, you can see this. This is the rule book for it. So this is a Premier rule book. All these cards, I believe, are going to be Premier. And, well, I might want to put that rule book back where it was, just because I'm not sure if this one has ever been really gone through in detail. I guess we'll kind of see if it looks sorted or if it looks like there's cards missing. I flipped through it a bit myself, but I tried to be careful. And up until the recent spike in interest for these, it was kind of, wouldn't say collecting dust in my closet. It was out of the dust, but more or less that was the case. So, all right. And yeah, the front card did get a little bit beat up. You can see maybe more than just the front card, but yeah, a little bit on that second card. Oh, and on that part too. So I'll make sure I keep that one in the front. That way other cards don't get beaten up by it. So it looks like this is all, I mean, I see a lot of cards that I know are commons, but some of these might be uncommons and I'm not actually sure. But I'll kind of flip through until I find something that looks okay. So I'm seeing a lot of these. This must be commons. So I'm okay. So now we're into the light side ones. I'll set these off to the side so things stay in the same order when I put them back in. So light side cards. As far as I know, I'm not missing any Luke Skywalkers. And if I remember correctly, when I did flip through it, most of the rares were up top, so I think I might just kind of speed through here. I've gotten pretty quick at recognizing cards since I sort, okay, these look like uncommons. I just sort piles and piles of them, so I don't know what that says, that I can recognize most cards by name, but hey, it's fun. should say I can like see the picture and say what the name is. But that goes with anything that you spend a lot of time doing. Okay, nice. Alter. So looks like the good cards were left in here, at least as far as uncommons. What I can't remember when I first went through this probably years ago was how many of the... Was there one or two of the real good cards? I remember seeing the real good cards, but okay, nice. A Star Destroyer. And these cards, I mean, they smell pretty much new, because I guess, I mean, they haven't, they've been sealed in that box with, not sealed, but they've had a pretty tight, a tight closure on the box, so they smell new. They shuffle through, or I can flip through them easier than I can with a lot of Premier cards, which get, okay, some interesting cutting issues there. And that's kind of neat that it's all the same cutting mistake, because it's all from the same sheet. So that's neat. It's not a stark miscut. It's not like we're having other cards on there, but that's definitely interesting. Okay. So it's starting to come back to me. I think the rares are on the other side of the rule book, so we'll keep flipping through. But I am kind of liking this. I wonder if I can make an interesting set out of that. A slightly miscut entire uncommon set. I'll have to do more well, I don't know. I don't want to really take this apart, though, so just thinking out loud. But a lot of neat cards in Premier. I liked the set for sure. In terms of, you know, especially nowadays that I have pretty much as many copies of each Premier card that I want to make decks. It would be interesting just to see what the game was like playing Premier. Okay, some more uncommons. All right. And I kind of liked how they made the unique characters. Some of them were uncommon, some of them were rare. So you could have a lot of the characters specifically that you recognized in the game without having to always have it just be only rares. Of course, the rares like Leia and whatnot and Vader and Luke were all the best cards still. But for me, especially starting out, it was like, okay, I remember him from the Battle of Yavin, and I'll put him on his Y-Wing, which also wasn't terribly hard to get. Okay, so I see some rare ones and rare twos in here. And be very careful to keep the same order. Okay, so there's a nice Luke. Just trying to get an angle on it there. Maybe a little bit of smudging. I'm not sure. Well, it's not even really showing up. But okay, so there's a Luke. Obi-Wan Sabre. I'm going to try to keep a mental count here of everything that I've seen. Okay, Obi-Wan, nice. So if we start to see, well, we're going to see, so like this Gold 5, we're going to see more copies of it than we are going to see of Luke. If the rumors are true that this is one or two cut sets. I almost want to say okay, I think I've seen a rare leader before, so, and he's a rare 1. So, oh, maybe it was a Biggs. We'll test my short-term memory here. There's another Biggs. Another Jedi Presence. That's 2 Jedi Presents. I know I've definitely seen 2 of those. So that's... Okay, there's another Luke. It'd be interesting to see if going in a particular order... I wonder if they go in the same order, but I don't want to flip back through the cards too much. I'll try to remember what comes in front of the next good card that we see. So a Luke, Obi-Wan Sabre, and we got it. Okay, I see an Obi-Wan at the end here. Alright, so it looks like it's probably the cards in the same order. What I haven't seen yet is a Han or a Leia or a Falcon, so I'm wondering about that, because it seems kind of suspicious to see a Luke and a Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan Sabre. Okay, there's a Falcon. And a Han, nice. And a Leia. So gosh, I wonder, I mean, I have no, and C3, but I forgot about him, he's a main. I just have no idea who's gone through this before and what they did to it. Another Falcon, and then probably Han, and then Leia, and then C3PO. So there is some order to it. And they're not really in any alphabetical order or anything like that. So it's probably just the order they were on the sheet, C3PO. Okay, cool. So I'm kind of, if I had to guess, I would say this is relatively unmodified. Just because if it was sorted or if cards were taken out, we'd see those out. Some discoloration there on the top of those guys. Okay. So hopefully it's nothing too good. Saw an Admiral Mahdi, Presence of the Force. And It's a bit too big to go through in one stack, so I'll probably just split it. Oh, that was a nice split. We'll see how those compare. That might be fun, actually. I'll set this off to the side. So I do wonder what that randomization was like, that we saw 2 of one card before the other 2 of the other same card. Like we saw 2 Obi-Wans before we even saw 1 Han, and then we saw 2 Hans. So I do wonder how these were sorted in here. Okay, Vader's tie. Alright, and just a quick look. Luke Seeker disarmed, Tanika Sisters, and Vader's tie. That's messing with my focus, but disarmed, Tanika Sisters. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna probably see the same thing for the most part there, but that light side was funky then, depending on how it was done. Of course, Charmer to the Last is a rare 2, I believe, so I don't know. It's kind of fun just to guess what's gonna come next. Black 2. Saw that Vader's lightsaber before, didn't really comment on it, but it's definitely a nice card. And these feel, I mean, these are real nice cards. I don't ever want to break up the set, really, but people are kind of going nuts for graded cards right now, so these would be good ones to send in. There he is, Darth Vader there. Pretty close to the Tarkin. That's in real nice shape. Both sides, probably. Yeah. It's always good to look at a premiere card and see a nice even reflection on the back of it or on the front from the lamp there. Nice. Devastator. Okay, so yeah, this, I mean, unless some random common or uncommon is missing for some reason, I mean, I'm seeing all the top cards here, so this one looks pretty intact to me. And kind of as we saw in those light side uncommons, it's neat to have the same cutting error, the same slight misalignment. Not really much of an error on all of them. So, but for whatever reason, I mean, I'm sure maybe playing it back, we would see that all the cards are in the same order here. I wonder if it was a little bit gone through just because the light side ones were kind of clustered more. But we're going to see a lot of the same cards, and vaguely they look to be in the same order. So Grand Moff Tarkin, then Vader will be coming up soon. Yep, okay. So I wonder what was up with that light side thing then, why it's different. Because to me it makes sense that we would see, you know, one whole rare sheet, because this is one rare sheet, this is one rare sheet, as far as I know. Unless there were 2 different premiere rare sheets, which I think they did that for Reflections foils. There was different foil sheets. Okay, so we're probably going to see the same stuff, but I definitely will finish it out. I don't know, it's not so bad. You may have, if you've seen my videos before, you note that I hate getting cantinas, but in this it's not such a big deal because I know they're going to be there. And hey, if everything's there, that means I get 2 Vaders too. So, okay, and the last card here, so the cards on the end, they did take a bit of wear. You can see some white there. The edges aren't great. You can even see on the side here by the copyright some bending. But if the front and the back cards took the most of the damage and it's a rare 2 and a whatever common that was in the front, I don't mind that much. And I'll just make sure I'm extra careful in storing them from now on. And it looks like whoever the previous owner was fairly careful with that. So pretty cool collection, or a pretty cool assemblage of cards to go through. And yeah, I'm pleased to see once and for all that everything looks to be intact and there. 2 of each of the rare cards, so that was nice to get. And it would have been nice to open the sealed one, but I just can't justify that if there's only allegedly 250 in existence, and probably less than that, a lot less than 150 or so sealed these days, because I'm sure people open them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed going through that with me. I'm going to get these carefully packed up back in the box and get ready to post the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next one.